It's time for you to get up. You will win. It's time for you to reactivate your finances, your health. Are you ready to get your life? Well, this is your moment. Ready to get your life back on track? Get up. What are you doing? It's your time to reactivate. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Reactivate the Moment. I am Marques Ford, and I am here with you, and you are here with me, and I appreciate you joining right here on Reactivate the Moment every Monday night at 8, where we reactivate. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I need you to do me a favor. I need all of you under the sound of my voice to share and comment on this video. Share, comment on this video. Make sure you are sharing and letting the world know what goes on right here every Monday night at 8 p.m. And I thank you all for tuning in. Listen, I think we have a good one in store for us tonight. I think we do. Last week was great. The week before that was great, but I think it's only right for us to go higher and higher and higher. So listen, tonight, I want to talk about us being able to go through things. I want to talk about what happens when we go through things. A lot of us go through life. A lot of us go through different circumstances. A lot of us go through different trials, different tribulations. Whatever your situation is, we all go through some things. Nobody, I repeat, nobody is here on earth not to go through anything. Every last one of us, me and you, the viewer, all of us go through things. Nobody goes through the day without something happening. Nobody goes through the month, the week, the year without something happening. If you are that person, then this moment is for you. If that's you, if you're the person that has gone through some things, if you're the person that has experienced some things, this is for you. If this is not for you, hey, God bless you, more power to you, and teach me your ways. I want to know how to not go through some things. But tonight is the night for us to go to learn through. So here it is. We must understand that everything that we go through, we must grow through. I'm gonna say it again. Everything that we go through, we must grow through. What I mean by that is that every single thing that we experience teaches us a lesson. All the good, all the bad, all the in between, everything that you experience in life teaches you a lesson. It causes you to grow. We must go in order for us to grow. Here we go. We must go through in order for us to grow through. I'm going to say it again. I need you to put it in the comment section for me. You must go through in order for you to grow through. In other words, we have to get to the point where we realize that everything that we experience causes us or allows us to be able to grow into better versions of ourselves. Everything that we experience, everything that we see, everything that we feel, everything that we go through, it causes us to be a better version of ourselves. But here it is. We must allow ourselves to go through some things. I'm gonna say it again. You must allow yourself to go through some things. A lot of times, not everybody, but a lot of times we don't like going through things. Why? Because we don't like change. I'm gonna say it again. We don't like going through things because we don't like change. A lot of us like things to be just easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as my daughter would say. A lot of us like for things to just be cool and calm and collective. A lot of us like things to just be copacetic. A lot of us like things just to be straight. But you have to go through some things. We don't like change. You don't like for things to change. You don't like for the norm to change. You don't like for what you're used to change. You don't like for things in your life, people in your life to change because things have been going so good. But in order for you, here it is, in order for greatness to be achieved, in order for your greatness to be tapped into, in order for you to tap into the greatness that is within you, in order for you to tap into the greatness that resides within you, that is deep down inside of you, you have to go through things. You will never achieve greatness if you don't go through anything. I'm gonna say it again. You will never achieve greatness if you don't go through anything. Because what happens is when we go through some things, that is when we realize our greatest potential. You realize your greatest potential when you go through certain tribulation, when you go through certain circumstances, when you go through certain situations. A lot of situations aren't meant to break you. A lot of situations aren't meant to kill you. A lot of situations are meant to destroy you. A lot of the situations that we go through, they're meant to get us to the brink of quitting. It's meant to get us to the brink of giving up. It's meant to get us to the brink of breaking. But right when you get to that brink, right when you get to that point where you're about to break, right when you get to that point where when you feel like you're about to give up, that is when the greatest thing happens in your life. And that is when you tap into the true meaning of who you are. And that is when you tap into the true potential that lies within you, because you've allowed yourself to go through some things. In order in other words, when you allow yourself to go through some things, that is when the greatest part of the potential that you have will be revealed and will be right in front of you. But when you don't allow yourself to go through things, then you won't be able to see who you really are. You won't be able to see the potential that you have. You won't be able to see how things can affect you, because you have not allowed yourself to go. You have to allow yourself to hear me clearly. You have to allow yourself to go. In other words, you cannot keep ducking and dodging problems, thinking that things are going to go away. We got a lot of duckers and a lot of dodgers viewing us tonight. We got a lot of people who try to run away from certain things. We got a lot of people that's viewing us tonight that who try to skip through and try to cut corners, thinking that the problem is going to go away. Thinking that maybe if I just maybe I'm not going to deal with it right now, so I'm just going to tiptoe around it. Maybe I'm not going to deal with it right now, but I'm just going to you know how they say walk on eggshell. I'm going to walk on eggshell. I'm not going to deal with it right now, because guess what? I don't want the change that's going to happen after that. I don't want the change that's supposed to come from that to affect me. I don't want the change that's coming from what I'm dealing with to shake up my foundation. I don't want that change that I know that's coming out of that. I don't want that to mess up what I have. I don't want it to I don't want it to deter me from what I'm going through. I don't want that change that I know that's coming from that situation. Because I know if I deal with that situation, something is going to change. I know that if I deal with that, something about me is going to change. I like who I am. I like where I'm going. I like where I am. I like the type of person that I am. I like the way I'm walking. I like the style. I like myself. I like me in this version. But for some reason or another, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to tiptoe around that circumstance, because maybe it'll go away. Maybe if I don't talk about it, it'll go away. Maybe if I don't deal with it, it'll go away. Hey, I know what I got an idea. Maybe if I don't bring it up, it's going to go away. But I'm here to remind you that the more you tiptoe around a situation, the more you tiptoe around a circumstance, guess what? It's still going to be there. And guess what happens? The problem gets worse. It doesn't get better. The problem gets worse because you have not allowed yourself to deal with it in that moment. You must deal with you and deal with it in the moment. Why? Because when you deal with you, then you'll be able to handle it. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight, but I'm here to remind you that it's time for you to deal with you. Deal with you. In order for you to deal with it, you must deal with you. And how do I deal with me? How do I deal with who I am? I mean, why do I have to deal with who I am? Why? Because you're trying to get to the next level in life. You're trying to get to the next level of your purpose. You're trying to get to your purpose. You're trying to get to your future. You're trying to get to whatever is in front of you, but you have to deal with you first. Meaning you have to check yourself first. Because what you'll do is, here it is, what you do is, and a lot of us have done it. I'm one. I can raise my hand. And admit to what I'm about to say. A lot of us have not dealt with have not dealt with ourselves. And so what happens is, when we go into a problem, when we go into a circumstance, when we go into a situation, we don't know how to handle it. And because we don't know how to handle it, guess what we end up doing? We end up sabotaging the future that's out of that situation. We end up sabotaging what's in that situation. And because we don't realize that what's in our situation lies our purpose. We don't realize that what's in our situation lies our future. We don't realize realize that what's in our situation lies the goals that we've been praying and asking God to do, lies the achievements that we've been trying to attack, we've been trying to get through. We don't realize that in that situation, in order for here it is, in order for us to get to our goal, in order for us to get to our dream, in order for us to get to our future, we have to deal with the situation. But before we get to the situation, we have to deal with ourselves. And if we don't deal with ourselves, we'll get to that situation, and what'll happen is we'll be all topsy-turvy, upside down. We'll be all confused, frustrated, mad. We'll be ticked off. We'll be tired. And guess what happened? We won't be able to have the full potential that we need to reach the goal that we're trying to achieve. We won't have the full potential that we need to reach the goal that we're trying to achieve if we don't deal with ourselves. If that's you, say, I got to deal with me. Type in the comment section for me. I want to see it. I want to see the comment section first. Say, I got to deal with me. Let's be honest tonight. I got to deal with me. I got to deal with who I am. Before I get to where I'm trying to get to, I got to deal with me. Before I get to where I'm trying to go, I gotta make sure I'm right, because I can't walk into my destiny. I can't walk into my future. I can't walk into my purpose being the same way that I am, because my purpose is not meant for who I am. My purpose is meant for who I'm supposed to be. I'm gonna have to save that clip. My purpose, here it is. My purpose, your purpose. Your purpose is not meant for who you are now. Your future is not meant for who you are now. Okay? Your future, your goals are not meant for who you are now. They're meant for who you are supposed to be. So what we have to realize is that when we deal with us, here we go. When we deal with us, okay, I've dealt with me now. Now I'm walking into my situation. I've dealt with me. Now I'm walking into my situation. So what that situation does, that situation is our preparation point. That situation is our preparation point. Because here it is. We are the ingredients. We are the key ingredients for a circumstance. In order for the circumstance to birth us to our future, to our potential, to our full potential. There it is. We have to be able to walk into the circumstance with our ingredients, with us. Get into the circumstance. Our ingredients plus the circumstance mesh. They mix up. And what comes out is the finished product. So in other words, you can't think you're going to get to your future. You can't think you're going to get to your purpose without going through something. Good God. I'm going to say it again, because I'm going to have to save this clip. I'm going to say it again. You cannot get to your future. You cannot get to your purpose. You cannot get to your goal without going through something first. So for those of you tonight, that thought that you're going to make it without going through something, that thought you're going to reach your full potential without going through something, I'm here to give you a rude awakening. It don't happen like that. It don't happen like that. You have to go through some things in order for you to get to the full potential of who you're supposed to be. You have to go through some things in order for you to get to in order for you to get to the future that you're supposed to have. You have to go through some things in order for you to get to the blessing that you prayed for. You have to go through some things in order for you to get to the goal that you dreamed about. You have to go through it. You have to. And while you're going through it, you have to grow through it. Now, here it is. We've allowed ourselves to go through some things. Okay, cool. We've caused ourselves to have enough gumption. We caused ourselves to have enough mindset to say, you know what, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to face my fears. I can't tiptoe it around any longer, because I see clearly that the problem isn't leaving. I see clearly that the situation hasn't gone. So I can't tiptoe it around any longer. So I have to go through it. But while you're going through it, you're going to grow through it. Meaning something has to come out of what you're dealing with. The reason why you're going through these things, the reason why you're going through what you're going through, the reason why you're in the situation you're in, the reason why you're dealing with what you're dealing with is because something has got to come out of, or something has got to grow out of what you're dealing with. In other words, you're not going through this thing just to go through something. You're not going through this thing just to say, hey, I went through something. No. It's not in vain. Your frustration is not in vain. Your heartache is not in vain. The fatigue that you feel is not in vain. The pressure that you feel is not in vain. The heartbreak that you felt is not in vain. Something is going to come out of this. But what we have to do is, here's the important part, y'all. We have to be able to withstand what we're going through. See, a lot of us, here it is. A lot of us are going through something right now, but we jump out too soon. We jump out of the situation too quickly. We jump out of our circumstance too quickly. Why? Because we can't take the heat. You know how the old saying goes: if you can't take the heat, you need to get up out the kitchen. We think that it's too much for us. We think that it's too hard. We think that we can't take it. We think that we won't make it. Some of us have quit on ourselves before we even got to our destination. Some of us have thrown in the towel on ourselves. It ain't the outside people that's giving up on us. It ain't your family that's giving up on us. It ain't giving up on you. It ain't your friends that's giving up on you. It's you. You've given up on yourself. And so because you've given up on yourself, you didn't even reach the part where you're growing. In other words, I said to you like this. In other words, you're stunting your own growth. In other words, you're stunting your own growth because you left your situation prematurely. And it's just like a baby. When the baby if a baby isn't fully developed in the womb and it's delivered before it's supposed to, if it's delivered before its time, it is called a premature baby because it has not gotten the full nutrients, is not developed fully, and so it's called a premature baby. So what the doctor has to do, for all my mothers out there who know this better than I, what the doctor has to do, they have to either incubate it or have to do special treatment or give it certain type of special nourishment or nutrients to help it to grow and develop, to grow and to develop, because it was delivered prematurely. The reason why your blessing you haven't gotten the full portion of your blessing, the reason why you haven't gotten the full portion of your achievement, the reason why you haven't gotten the full portion of what you've been asking for, what you've been seeking for, what you've been working so hard to do, is because you left your circumstance, you left your situation prematurely. In other words, you have a premature blessing that's in your hands now because you couldn't take the heat. You couldn't take the frustration. You couldn't take the pain. You couldn't take the heartache in order for you to get the fully developed blessing that you've been wanting. So you're sitting there premature with a premature blessing, wondering why you can't make it, wondering why you can't get any further than where you are, wondering why you can't go any farther than where you are, because you're living off of a premature blessing. Everything you go through, you must grow through. Embrace your mistakes. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight, but I'm pretty sure this is for you. If you're listening, this is for you. Embrace your mistakes. The mistakes you made were not there. Hear me clearly. The mistakes you made, or the mistakes you made and the mistakes you make, aren't there to embarrass you. The mistakes you make or the mistakes you made, they weren't there to make people look at you funny, to make people treat you differently. The mistakes you made and the mistakes you will make are for you. Here it is. Mistakes have the power to turn you into something better than you were before. I'm going to say it again for those of you in the back that didn't hear me. For those of you that maybe just tuned in now. Mistakes have the power to turn you into something better than you were before. So don't look at your mistakes as a blemish. Don't look at what you've been through and what you've gone through and what you're going through, what you're going to go through in the future. Don't look at it as a scar. Don't look at it as like the Scarlet Letter where she had the red A on the chest. Don't look at it as a mockery point. Don't look at it for people to laugh at you. Don't look at your mistake as a point for people to ridicule you. Because guess what? Your mistake has power. Your mistake has power. And matter of fact, your mistake has as much power as the purpose that you have inside of you. That mistake has as much power. Because what that mistake does, here it is. Here's the plug for the show. The mistake will cause you to reactivate your purpose. That mistake will cause you to reactivate your future. That mistake will cause you to reactivate the things that were lying dormant within you. A lot of you on here, are millionaires. You on here are business owners. A lot of you on here are book writers, are authors. A lot of you on here are actors. A lot of you on here, a lot of you on here can probably write a book, write a play, star in the play, star in the movie. It doesn't matter. In other words, a lot of you on here, a lot of you listening, a lot of you viewing has power. I mean, has purpose, and you have something inside of you that you're supposed to do. And tonight is the night where you get your purpose reactivated. Why? Because you were looking at yourself as a mistake. You were looking at yourself as something that was not supposed to be here. You were looking at yourself as someone that wasn't supposed to survive. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight, but I really do believe in the bottom of my heart that I'm talking to some survivors tonight. I really do believe I'm talking to some people that have been sustained through the storm. I really believe I'm talking to some people tonight that can look in the mirror and say, I'm not a mistake because I have power. If that's you, I need you to type into the comment section, I'm not a mistake, I'm powerful. What I went through was not a mistake. What I'm going through is not a mistake. What I will go through is not a mistake. But guess what it is? It creates power, because your mistake has the power to turn you into something better than you were before. So your mistake isn't meant to harm you. Your mistake is meant to turn you. Your mistake isn't meant to frustrate you. Your mistake is meant to turn you. It's meant to turn you around. And not only will it turn you around, but it will turn your situation around, because you're not a mistake. You have power. Why? Because you've allowed yourself to go through some things. You've allowed yourself to go through some things, and because you've allowed yourself to go through some things, you're going to allow yourself to grow through some things. Why? Because everything I've dealt with, everything I'm dealing with now, and everything I'm going to deal with, it's going to create power in me. It's not going to cause me to cry. And even if I do cry, guess what? Every tear I shed is a powerful tear. It's not going to cause me to moan and groan, but every moan and groan I utter, guess what it does? It's going to create power. It's not going to cause me to go crazy. But if I happen to lose my mind, I'm going to gain more power when I find my mind. It's not going to cause me to be sad. But when I look at myself and I see the sadness in my eyes, when I see the frustration in my heart, I can realize and say, you know what? I'm not sad because I'm powerful. I'm not frustrated because I'm powerful. I didn't lose because all I do is win. All I do is win. T-Pain said it, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. I got money on my mind, but instead of money, I got power on my mind. And I never give it up. And every time I step up in the building, every time you step up in the building, everybody's hands going to go up. And guess what they're going to do, y'all? They're going to stay there. Why? Because I have power. I think I'm talking to some powerful people tonight. I really do believe I'm talking to some powerful people tonight. I really do believe I'm talking to some people that didn't realize that their mistake was nothing but a miracle. I really do believe I'm talking to some people that didn't realize that their frustration was meant for their future. I really do believe that I'm talking to some people that didn't realize that their pain was pushing them to their purpose. I really believe that I'm talking to some people that didn't realize that what tried to destroy them was pushing them to their destiny. I really do believe I'm talking to some people that really didn't realize that the pain that they're experiencing was them growing through instead of them staying in the situation. I'm growing through it. And because I'm growing through it, I'm going to come out more powerful than I once was. Why? Because the mistakes that I made would turn my situation into power. I believe if that's you, just say that's me, because I believe it. I can't see you physically, but I see the comments, and I really do believe that that's you. I do believe I'm talking to some people that are powerful tonight. And guess what? If you didn't come on this, if you didn't feel like you had power before you came on this life, I guarantee when you leave, you're going to feel like a whole new man, a whole new woman. I guarantee you, you're going to believe, you're going to walk away from this. When you get off this live tonight, I really believe you're going to walk away saying, you know what? I'm not a mistake. What happened to me wasn't a mistake. It was meant to empower me. It was meant to it could bring me enthusiasm. It was meant to bring out purpose in me. Why? Because I had to go through some things in order for me to grow through some things. If you come out of your situation the same way you were when you went in, you didn't learn nothing from it. I'm gonna say it again. If you come out of your situation the same way you are now, then you didn't learn anything from it. In other words, you wasted your time going through something because you didn't allow yourself to grow through it. I'm going to say it one more time. If you come out of a situation the same way you were The same way you were when you got in it, you won't receive nothing out of it. And a lot of you, honestly, a lot of you won't admit it, but a lot of you really are in the same circumstance that you were 5, 10 years, 10 months ago. A lot of you went through 2023 going through some things, and you started off 2024 the same way as you were in 2023. A lot of you, not all of you, a lot of you. That's because all 2023 you didn't grow. You just was going through some stuff. You were just going through the motions. You were just going through the motions. You were just going through the motions to say I survived. But if you did survive, what did you bring out of that? Put it, thank you. Put it like this. Anybody that has survived any circumstance, think about it. Think about it. I want you to hear me clearly now. Anybody that has survived any circumstance, I guarantee they have scars to show for it. Nobody that has survived something doesn't either have a scar or a story to tell. The people that didn't survive, God called them home. They're rested with the angels. So for those of you that have survived, those of you that are survivors, the survivors I'm talking to tonight, that's my daughter, y'all. I'm sorry. The survivors I'm talking to tonight, I guarantee if you look in the mirror at yourself, or if you look on your body somewhere, or if you look within yourself, I guarantee you have a story to tell. I guarantee you have a scar to show what you've been through. But what our problem is that we try to hide our scars. Our problem is we become ashamed of our scars. We become ashamed of who we are. We become ashamed of what we've been through because we don't want people to know that we go through some things. We don't want people to know that we cry sometimes. We don't want people to know that, yes, we get frustrated. We don't want people to know that, yes, we become angry. But it's okay to show your scars, because all your scars are doing is showing them that if you can go through it, they can go through it. If you can make it, they can make it. If I can make it, you can make it. Why? Because I went through something, I've grown from it, and now I'm blessed because of it. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight, but I'm pretty sure I'm talking to some of you that have went through some things. Not only did you go through some things, but you've grown through some things. And not only have you grown through some things, but you have something to show from it. Why? Because you thought it was a mistake. You thought your circumstance was a mistake. You thought you weren't supposed to go through your circumstance. But that mistake gave you power, and it turned you into something that made you better than you were before. Because of that mistake, because of that circumstance, because of that situation, now you can say, not only did I go through it, I've grown through it, and now I have something to show for it. And that's a smile. That's a laugh. That's a cheerful heart. You have something to show for it. There's no reason you should have your head down. Because if you have your head down, you'll never know where you're going. If you continue to walk with your head down, you'll never know where you're going. If you continue to walk with your head down, people will never see the story in your eyes. You might not be able to say a word. You can walk into every last one of you that are watching now, and every last one of you that will watch on the replay. You can walk into any room and people can see that you've gone through some things. You can walk into any room and people can see that that man or that woman has been through something. That man or that woman has a story to tell. That man or that woman looks like a survivor. And guess what happens? People that look like survivors, they start getting people that want to learn how to survive. Your story, your survival story, is not only meant for you, but it's meant for others that need to learn how to survive. Because they might not understand what it means to go through some things, and not only go through it, but grow through it. You may talk to somebody tomorrow that's going through something, that may go through something tomorrow, that's going through something that you just came out of. And because you shared your story, you're teaching them how to survive. So don't be ashamed in what you've been through. Don't be ashamed in what you're going through, and don't be ashamed in what you will go through. Why? Because you will turn out better than you were when before you went in. Why? Because your mistake represents power. It represents power. And the crazy part about it is, it's not only your mistake that represents power. You can put your own adjective in it. You can put your own thing in it. It can't be a mistake. It can be your healing represents power. It can be your frustration represents power. Whatever it is that describes you in the moment, that can be what represents your power. Why? Because everything you go through, you've now learned that you must grow through, and that you've learned that mistakes have the power to turn you into something better than you were before. So I hope tonight has blessed you just as much as it blessed me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope tonight that you have been rejuvenated, reactivated, revived, revitalized, the whole night. I hope that tonight's message, I hope that tonight's broadcast, rather, has put a spark in you to allow you to keep going. I hope tonight's broadcast has put something in your mind, in your heart, to give you an extra jolt to say, you know what, I can make it. To say, you know what, I can go through it. To say, you know what, I have to go through it, because I can't get to my destination if I don't go through this route. Just like your GPS navigation system. There's some ways in your navigation system that'll cause you to go that way and that way alone, because you have to go through that to get to where you're going. I don't know who I'm talking to tonight, but let me reassure you to allow yourself to go through some things. Allow yourself to experience the downfall. Allow yourself to experience the tragedy. Allow yourself to experience the frustration. Allow yourself to experience the failures. Allow yourself to experience the loss. In a nutshell, allow yourself to experience life. Because once you experience life, it's going to allow you to get to the destination, to the future that is meant for you. Because you experience life, you're able to say that I've gone through some things, I've grown through some things, and because I'm able to grow through these things, I'm able to get out of me what is meant for me. You won't be able to get out of you what is meant for you if you don't allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to grow. The seed has already been planted. The thing that's watering the seed are the things that you're going to deal with. The thing that's watering your purpose, watering your future, watering your goals, watering your achievements, every accolade that you dream of, your pain is nutrients for your frustration, your heartache, your failures, your tiredness, people talking about you, people laughing at you, the mistakes. All of that is nutrients for your purpose. But what they don't know is that because you've gone through the circumstance, because you've gone through the failure, because you've gone through the fatigue, because you're going through the frustration, now their purpose is growing. And guess what? It's going to blossom. It's going to provide fruit for those other people out there that have either gone through what you're going through, or they're going through something that's similar to yours. So what you're going through is not a mistake, but it's a blessing. And that blessing represents power. Listen, I thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for joining me. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor and share the video, share the broadcast, like the broadcast, drop a comment, drop some hearts, all that good stuff in it, to let people know what goes down here right here every Monday night at 8. I want to shout out everybody that has been tuning in, that has commented. Mama Von Seal, that's the mama of Reactivate The Moment. She's dubbed herself as the mama of Reactivate, and I'm going to let her have that. That's my mama of Reactivate. I want to shout out Miss Pat Biggie. What's up, Biggie? I want to shout out Teresa Caldwell, the We Empower Network. Thank you all for tuning in and showing up and showing out as always. Angela, thank you. My wife, Quanae, Lakeisha, Lockerish, thank you. My sis, Shan Bivens, thank you, Shan, for tuning in. Nicole Massey, thank you, Nicole. Iyasa Simpson, that's my girl, man. Thank you for tuning in, Iyasa. I really appreciate it. She's a part of the We Empower Network. Network as well. Who else? Who else? Well, my sister Destiny. Thank you, Destiny, for tuning in. My best friend Andrea Wallace Moore. I haven't talked to her so long. I need to talk to you, girl. My best friend, thank you so much for tuning in. My sister Sierra, thank you, Sierra, for tuning in. Thank you, my sister Terry Y. Hicks. She is going to get me for calling these other folks my sister, but she is my sister and she knows it. Please don't charge to my head, not to my heart, sis. Matthew Clark, what's going on, bro? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, man. Matthew joined in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody that tuned in. Do me a favor if you haven't done so. Once again, thank you, thank you. Again, Nicole, thank you so much. Make sure you chime in, make sure you share the broadcast, like the broadcast, do all the good stuff. Tag me, follow me on all social media handles. On Facebook is Marques Ford, of course, and at Reactivate the Moment. On Instagram, it is M Ford23, M Ford23. And also Reactivate the Moment as well. Reactivate the Moment as well on Instagram. Also, you can follow me on TikTok at M Ford23 and Reactivate _the _moment on TikTok as well. I think I can't remember. I just started, so I don't know. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel where all of my videos, all my broadcasts are viewed on there as well. You can go back and view the replay. You can go back and view it here, share it on YouTube, share it on Instagram, the whole nine. I greatly appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you tell a friend to join you every Monday night at 8 where we reactivate. I will see you next week, same time, same channel, right here on the We Empower Network at 8 p.m. next week. I was before I leave, I have to give my aunt Carla a birthday shout out. Today is her birthday. Carla, I know you're having fun, you're partying right now, and I'm pretty sure you're going to view this later. I want to tell you I love you. I'm so proud of you. I appreciate you. I don't know what I would do without you in my life. And Carla, I love you dearly. And I put on the post today that I probably owe her about $50. I got you when my income tax come. All right. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Everybody, I'll see you next week. Same time, same channel right here at 8 p.m. Have a great week, everybody. Peace.